What's up, YouTube? Oh my god, this is so much lag. I can hear the lag in my headphones. How are you this evening? I gotta take this off. How are you this evening? I am glad you guys could make it if you're here. Um, I don't really have a topic. Normally I have a topic, but I figure this would be a nice time to hang out, chill, as the title says, edit and chill. I'm going to be color grading some of the footage from next week's video, which I took a poll on the community page, and asked what you guys wanted to see, and the majority of you asked to see my lens lineup for the Pocket 4K. So that's what's going to be this week. So some of it is going to be a collection of other reviews that I've done. I think this light is too blue. It's fine. But it's going to be a collection of other footage that I have done in other reviews, and also some new footage. I always like doing these types of videos because you get to see some new footage. I think I may even try to go out this weekend to shoot even some more footage with some of these. I've got a lot of footage to go. All right, reconnection successful. Okay. Well, that was fun. I can't make any promises. I may have jinxed the house by saying that our internet has been somewhat stable lately. And as soon as I said that at dinner tonight, the internet went out like 3 different times. So that was fun. Hockey intermission. Dallas 2-1 versus Tampa. Go Dallas. I think. Are we Dallas fans? I think we're Dallas fans. So, is it the Stars? It's been a while since I've kept up with hockey, so you'll have to fill me in on that. But yes, I am going to apologize about the internet. It is our internet is always super fun, but something that we Dallas fans, we Dallas fans up in here. Something that I did want to mention is, so internet's great, but the kid is already asleep, so no screaming 2-year-old, now 3-year-old, but no screaming child. We should all be good. But that being said, there's not really a topic. It is going to be just chilling, doing some color grading in OBS, maybe talking about a couple of things. There's a couple of things that have happened this past week in the world of cameras and filmmaking. Jeez. Good grief, OBS. I promise, if it's this bad, we may end the stream super early. But I wanted to hang out with you guys and catch up, see how everyone's doing. I apologize. The internet is killing me right now. What in the world? Time to do the obligatory speed test. Not but test. Ooh. This is not great. So yeah, the stream's gonna be fun tonight. You ready for some chaos? Buckle up. Oh yeah, upload speeds is 0.75, 0.77. I should probably get different internet. Please God, let different internet come to North Carolina. Spectrum blows so bad. All right. So that being said, if I'm choppy, much apologies. All right, so I am going to switch over to OBS. I'm going to get that up and running here. You guys should be seeing OBS at this point. If you cannot, please let me know. So we're just going to do some color grading, chat a little bit, see how everyone's doing. What's everybody watching lately? I know I've been wanting to talk to you guys weeks about, I'm going to go back to myself for a second. I've been wanting to talk to you guys weeks about Doom Patrol. If you are into just some really good cinematography, good just writing all around, it's a sleeper, but Doom Patrol has been amazing. So if you are looking for something to watch, check out Doom Patrol. That's my shameless plug. That's what we actually finished that like a week or two ago. What did we watch this past week? I want to say we finally finished The History of America by Oliver Stone. I always butcher that title, but it's a really good documentary about the history of America through the eyes of, well, not the eyes, but through the narrative of Oliver Stone. Pretty dope. I think I watched something else this past week. I think I've just been going rogue YouTube this past week, watching a lot of music videos. Okay, going back to Davinci. Let me see if I'm actually in Davinci. No, I'm not. All right. Okay, that was my stream deck. This is a fun stream. So, fun fact, I am a former Final Cut Pro user and realized that Final Cut Pro doesn't use bins. And I've known people that use Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve and have talked about bins. And when I switched from Final Cut Pro to DaVinci Resolve, I just never thought about bins. I finally started using bins on this video because I'm doing a few different lenses. And so I want to break down basically like all the footage from those lenses. So I've got some from the 50 to 100 in here. I've got some from the 18 to 35, and I'm not going to give away the rest of the video. So, but we're going to do some color grading. That one's already been graded. Nope, that's not my color grading timeline. I actually beforehand made some color grading timelines so that I can get some of these grades. Now, some of these are, like I said, I think a lot of the footage I'm going to be using has been used in other reviews. So it's kind of like a general recap of all the different reviews of these lenses. The clips I'm going to be doing here, and I'll probably be adding some on, are net new. They're basically just new clips, so they're ones I need to grade, make sure it looks good. This one I actually did for this is an 1835 clip, Sigma 18 to 35, and I did this for my Hollyland video. So if you guys haven't watched that video, that one didn't do so well. So if you're interested in a wireless video transmission device, check out my review of the Hollyland Mars 300 Pro. I've been really happy with it. I'm actually going to be doing a video about the Nucleus Nano using that system. So, for whether it's for people that are trying to film themselves or just like people that are just one-man teams, basically, where they can check focus. It's not great for like racking or pulling focus at all. Like, it's not fast enough. There is some latency with it, but it does offer the ability to check focus. And so I'm going to be using it whenever I'm doing like shoots where I'm filming myself. And I've kind of rigged up the Nucleus Nano follow focus wheel to be hooked up with a wireless. I think it's up to my phone or somewhere, like it's on a mount next to my phone, and the phone's connected to the Hollyland. So I'm pretty pumped on that. Dirty Dollars Racing. Love that you love the channel. Thanks for stopping by, man. That being said, let's color grade this. So I'm pretty sure I did not fix the white balance when I was actually filming this. So this should be fun. But let's go over to color. And as we're here, in something that I want to make these streams, some things I want to do with these streams is just do more like this. I want the community to come here, hang out. Honestly, I love new people on the channel, but this is primarily for people that are part of my community already and just want to come hang out because it's a time to hang out with my subscribers and new people. So welcome new people. So that being said, let's color grade. I should have brought like background music. I thought about it and I ran out of time. All right, so I'm going to fix the exposure first. I'm going to bring my shadows down. I might raise the highlights here because I think it's a little bit underexposed. Play around with the midtones. Ooh, I like the midtones up a little bit. Normally I like the midtones down, but to add some contrast in here, I might bring the midtones up. Let's see what happens if I do more like an S. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of S curves. I feel like whenever you use S curves, you end up just like crushing the highlights or blowing out the highlights, not crushing the shadows, blowing out the highlights. All right, so I'm just going to raise those up a little bit. My next step, if you've ever watched any of my live streams, I've done a couple of me color grading. It's pretty much the same process every time. I think I've gotten a couple of new things in here, but I'm going to go over to my RGB mixer and I'm going to pump up the saturation. Usually do about 1.9 on the saturation here. 2, for some reason, 2 is just too much. I don't know why. 2 is just too much. While I'm doing this, there's a couple of things that have happened in the world of filmmaking gear, things specifically like the Canon C70. I'll be honest, I haven't had a ton of time to look into it. If you guys are here in the chat and want to chat about it, let's talk about it. What do we think? Honestly, I think, Mark, if you're still in here, I legitimately, like when I saw the rumors for it, I was like, you know what? If it's the right price, I'm going to sell the Blackmagic. I'm going to sell my GH5 and go with that. Because as much as I'm not a huge Canon fan, I do respect Canon cinema cameras. So that's a thing for me. But that is one thing. Okay. Something is happening here. That's not great. So maybe I want to actually bring that down a little bit. I think I massively underexposed this. I may not be using this shot. Let's try to bring it down. Just reset it. I think it's pricey, but yes, I do want it. I think it'd be dope. I think it'd be cool. Let me try to see. Yeah, as soon as I put color into that. Is that just a light? No, that's just... What the heck is happening there? That's weird. You know what? I wonder... It looks like that is... Let me see. Let me come back to this clip because that's weird. That's like not even... Because this is straight the image. Yeah, it is. It is fairly cheap considering it is potentially a competitor with other, like full-on cinema cameras. I mean, let's be real, cinema cameras are not cheap in the slightest. Oh God, I've gotten to where like if I see any video about Aries or Reds, I just assume they're like $50,000 minimum. $80,000. I'm like, I saw the Potato Jet video this past week or last week about the new Aries zooms, which of course just made me like salivate. But I just assumed that those were like $200,000, something like that, like an arm and a leg. But yeah, for a cinema camera, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to use this shot. We'll have to come back to that one. But for a cinema camera, yeah, definitely pretty inexpensive. Under C200 in price, but above in features. Uses the same Super 35 and the C300 Mark III. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think so. Here's where it's too expensive for me. because I'm coming from a Pocket 4K that's $1,300 and for all intents and purposes is like a cinema camera that should not be $1,300. Now, I'm not naive. I know that the Pocket 4K lacks a lot of things that you want out of a cinema camera. But I was really hoping, I've honestly been really hoping that Sony or Canon would put something out that competes with something like the Pocket 4K, Pocket 6K, or even the Z cams for that matter, a cinema camera that's a budget friendly cinema camera and not a mirrorless camera. Like I think I'm over. I just feel like I'm over mirrorless cameras at this point, and that sounds so pretentious, but like I don't know what it is. I don't know, and honestly, it may just be being spoiled from the picture that comes out of the Pocket 4K. But I'm like this close of selling off the GH5 because I just don't use it anymore. Because if I'm grabbing a camera, IBIS and all, I would absolutely grab the Pocket 4K. I would say 99% of the time. It's just I don't like the look that a lot of the mirrorless cameras have now. And that being said, I would really love to test out and try out the A7S III and see if it kind of remedies that kind of digital, heavy side of things. But I'm honestly, picking up the Pocket 4K, getting into the cinema camera world. There's flies in the room, but getting into the cinema camera world, I don't want to go back. And honestly, I don't do any photography, and the only reason why I remotely keep a photo-esque camera around, because the GH5 it can do photo, it can do stills, but it's not the best stills camera. It's very video focused. But the only reason I keep it around is because every once in a while my wife wants like family photos, and that's the only reason I keep it around. Otherwise, I would sell it off and just get another Pocket 4K. And for that matter, most of the stills I've done recently is just like I'm going to take some video in the Pocket 4K and take the screenshot out. Like that's what I do now. It's kind of ridiculous. Mark says the hype to see what the real world dynamic range is. Yeah. Canon boasts up to 16, which would be a direct competitor with the Komodo. Yeah, that's another camera I'm intrigued by is the Komodo, but I know as soon as you get into the red world, it's just you're paying out the arm and a leg. But again, that's really the cinema camera world. For that matter, I was looking the other day at an Ursa Mini Pro, and they're just not cheap. They're just not cheap. Whatever way you look at it, they're not cheap. And for a reason, like they do something that, some mirrorless cameras, digital cameras can't do. And, I have respect for that. So the IBIS is fantastic too. Don't sell the GH5 short. Yeah, I know. And maybe it's just because I'm also not giving Vlog a fair shake. I finally got a Vlog on the camera, and I just haven't been impressed with it. I've gone back to using Cine Like D, and it's just I don't know, man. I like using the GH5 for certain things, but for like the majority of things, I don't like what it does on skin tones. I think that's where the Pocket has ruined me is skin tones. I just love what the Pocket 4K does on skin tones. And I just don't think that the GH5 compares. All right, let's bring down the shadows. All right, so it doesn't look like anything got blown out in this shot. I mean, to be fair, this shot was supposed to be like a throwaway shot. It was for another talking point in that review. I was just hoping that it was something I could use for extra footage. Let's see. Does anybody else just doesn't really know what to do with the midtones? They just kind of like play around with the curves until it makes sense. Yeah, that's me. Okay, I like that. Let me just raise it up a little bit. I have a huge issue with defaulting to darker images. I don't know what it is. It's the moodiness in me. If you guys, I mean, you guys have seen, I mean, hell. I mean, look at I'm not going to try to use my switcher at this point because it's not switching. But, I mean, look at this shot. It's dark and moody. So, all right. Let me see at 1.9. 1.9. Perfect. Okay. This is something I talked about before. That 1.9. And this might be a good example as you guys are seeing this. For some reason, I'm over here praising the image of the Pocket 4K. But for some reason, my Pocket 4K likes to put everything in just put a cast of red on everything. And I don't know if I'm just like, if it's user error, but like it comes out red. And I end up having to take reds out. And I probably could just, I probably could just do that, but just put less reds back in the image. I haven't tried that before. I always just kind of go over here and play around with my lift, gamma, and gain. I think I might come back to that, but we'll leave that right there. So maybe, okay. Leave that 20.2 less. Take the greens down a little bit too. I've noticed that I get really red, but then slight green. So basically, it's just missing blues. I'm happy with that. I'm decently happy with that. Okay. Not as a finished image, but as a base. All right. Let's put a corrector node in here. Mark, I know you're probably cringing that I'm doing this all wrong. All right, let me qualify the skin tones. This is also something I struggle with, is I've gotten more used to cleaning up the whites and the blacks and denoising and stuff like that. It's just sometimes like my qualifying is not great. Not great. All right. Basically, I'm telling you guys how like the sausage is made. Hopefully you guys don't see it in the finished product on a lot of my videos, but it's possible. It is possible. Let me see if I can get as much of these skin tones. Okay. Come back. Seriously, I should have loaded up a song to just like have loop. Oh, I hit the gold. Go back. Let's that's okay. Clean out the blacks. Okay. So I said a second ago, I don't know if you guys remember from last week, there were some flies in the room. They're here. They're back. It is a battle. Like literally before I started streaming, one just flew up on my head. And it probably doesn't help that there's a huge light right here. I almost touched it. I swear. Okay. I spent too much time. This one is from my first actual like professional gig this year, so I spent a little more time on this one. So what happens if I drag? We're just gonna leave that. Okay. Get my power window. This shouldn't be too far off. No. Go to my wheels here. So if I'm looking at the Vectorscope, wrong button, Anson. Oh my God. Okay. That's the button, right? No, what the? Oh, I swear. Yes, I want the Vectorscope. So generally speaking, so here's my skin tone line. I like it either touching or right above it. That's always like the sweet spot for me for I used to try to get like right on it, but I like it just touching because it's just the nice mixture of the reds and the yellows. So orange, basically. All right. All right. Now let's start there. Come back to it. Okay. This was a fun shoot because we actually started out in this scene, which we both liked. It was pretty cool. But then, like, over here, there's like a field, and there were some kids that were playing, like, literally, like, behind her head, like, on the other side of this fence. And they were cutting into our audio. We were just like, yeah, we really like this shot. But, yeah, we can't really do much. Can't really do, like, a interview with kids screaming in the background. So I should be a pro at that right now because my child screams all the time when I am doing these streams. Okay, so I'm going to unlink this. I may fix the colors again. We'll see. All right, let me add a new corrector. Nope, not what I meant to put. Add another corrector and a stop pressing random buttons. Layer mixer. Okay, so this is going to be my grade. This is going to preserve the skin tones. Okay, so normally I'll use my wheels over here for grading. I really want to get better at using my curves because I feel like the curves are more precise. So we're going to try it. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to try just like a standard teal orange. Something like this, I would try probably like a green shadow, but we won't go crazy. So let's just try a standard teal and orange. So all right, so if I do, I feel like, no. Nope, I'm abandoning ship. Nope. I have to like sit and think about which way on the curve. We're going with the wheels. All right, so let me just drag it down towards teal on the shadows, orange on the highlights. Sometimes I'll try to bring the shadows down a little bit more on the grade. No. You know what? Let me get rid of this. I'm going to take some more reds out of the shadows. This time I'm actually going to use. Okay, I'm digging that. All right, maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. The primary bars have saved my butt on so many different occasions when I'm going to grade. Okay, so now I'm looking at the... All right, let me qualify the skin again. Just make sure everything... I'm pretty happy with that. Let me try... I swear, if I have to do an S curve, all right, let's try. Oh, actually looked better. Damn it. Freaking S curves. There's not really a whole bunch of highlights to blow out. I mean, there are highlights, but like not like this shot would have a ton of like these like sky shots that would, be blown out, but this actually looks pretty nice. I think it's a little red. Maybe. If you're just now, let me try to go back. My hotkeys are not working right now. So if you can't, oh, that's why. Oh, geez, that's why. All right. Oh, yep. Okay. If you're just now joining the stream, we're doing an edit and chill. If you're editing footage right now, that's what I'm doing too. I had a whole thing of like, hey, let's everybody like edit some of our projects and talk about what we're doing, and I forgot. I truly appreciate you guys hanging out for these streams because there are a lot of times just chaos, and I fully know that. Okay. So what we're doing is just hanging out, chatting. We talked a little bit about the C70. If you guys have thoughts on the C70, let us know in the chat. What are some other things that are going on? Mark mentioned that there is basically two. And Mark, if you're still, unless you're watching the game, the basically like Polar Pro and Moment put out new filters to basically be like the ProMist filters, and so that could be something interesting. But other things we're talking about is potentially what we're watching. Mark is currently watching a hockey game. I talked a little bit earlier about Doom Patrol, and yeah, so they're fun as hell. Wait, what are you talking about? The filters? Wait, didn't Prism put out one too, or there were Prism Effects? I felt like they put out one too that was very similar as well. So yeah, hockey, Doom Patrol. We're just hanging out. I'm drinking a martini. Not a martini. What? Not a martini. So just stop. I'm drinking a margarita in a death metal mug right now. So that's where my life is. Shameless plug. Here at our family, we try to support local businesses. If you are in the North Carolina area, check out Holy Mountain Printing. They specialize a lot in like heavy metal, death metal bands and apparel for death metal bands, but we have been known to use their services every once in a while for some t-shirts and some patches and things like that. Oh, the streams are fun as hell. Yes, Mark, they are fun as hell. Thank you. Oh, man. I actually wasn't going to stream tonight. I have been just exhausted, burnout, and I just... It's been a time in the YouTube world. I have been trying to nail down some brands and trying to get them to send me some gear and, get some more stuff to review. I've been also trying to like rebrand the channel a little bit, not necessarily like from a true like brand aspect, but like introduce new things into the channel. Starting with, the more voiceover style of reviews and tutorials that I did this past week. I'll probably be doing again this week unless something drastically goes wrong with the project. But then also trying to get back into doing tutorials, get away from doing just lens reviews. I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I don't want to be like a parody of myself in the sense of like, all I do is lens reviews, because at some point you just go mad with as many lenses as you've tested out. And I know everybody loves lenses, but I'll be honest, I had a lot of fun looking at the Zhiyun Crane 2S. It's not in the shot, but it is back there. I was hoping, I did put on the poll that I put this past week about what you guys actually wanted me to talk about. And I put on there, do you want me to talk about how to get the Crane 2S to mount? I'm done. I'll see you guys later. To mount the Pocket 4K vertically, because I got it done. I figured out how to mount the Pocket 4K vertically so you can do some vertical video with the gimbal. So, unfortunately, that was voted off. And made me sad. So it is what it is. The game is stressful. Are we losing? Are the Stars losing? Mark, don't tell me we're losing. I don't watch hockey, but I'm supporting Mark. All right, I'm gonna go back to. I apologize. Apparently, my hotkeys are set up a certain way to where Davinci is just like, I think you're doing something else with the hotkeys, and so I have to switch and then move over to Davinci. So, apologize for what you're about to see as far as the window on the window. Okay, here we go. Back to Davinci. Mark, I'm gonna need you to give me an update if we're losing. I swear to God, if we're losing, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just basically going to stop the stream. All right. So I think I got it. I still think it's a little red. So let me try taking some red out of the highlights. See, now I just have like alien skin. This is, it's green. Because when I shot this shot, I imagined like green and forest green and then my subject. So, let's see. Let me see if I can do this without making alien skin going on. Got my right AirPod listening to both. 3-2 Dallas currently. That's for damn right. Dallas is winning. That's what we want, I think. Actually, I should probably vote. I should probably root for the Hurricanes, but I think it's playoffs time right now, isn't it? I don't think they're in the playoffs. And if they are, I'm a really bad North Carolinian. Because that's basically our religion, is the Hurricanes and UNC football. Basketball. God, football's like an afterthought in North Carolina. Like you can see with the Carolina Panthers. Wow, that was a low blow. Okay. All right. I'm done talking about sports. What am I looking for? Where am I? There we go. All right, old man eyes. Here we go. Okay. I go back to my log wheel. I get it. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Warm the image around 100 and push a bit of green into the highlights. It's a Stanley Cup Finals right now. Last round? What? Yeah, okay. I'll warm the image. Maybe. We'll see. Mark, don't tell me what to do. Just don't. Yeah, okay. All right. Let me put some of this. Let me see what happens when... See, I kind of dig that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just my personal taste. I like more of an earthy kind of like... I don't know. I always default to like a cooler image, but that's just me. You know what? I'm going to come back to that. I like that where it is. I'm going to do something crazy. Ooh, nope. That was a bad idea. Oh, yeah. That's a lot of green. Yup. Okay, so this is the actual shot we're going to be using. We're not actually using this shot because of the kids, but I'm going to probably use it in the review or the video on Tuesday. What is happening over here? There we go. Okay. Let me go to parade. Bring my shadows down. Oof. I can already tell that I'm going to have to... Okay. I feel like everybody that is like really good at color grading is just cringing right now. Like Mark, I'm pretty sure you're cringing. I'm pretty sure. Wow, there's 9 people watching me color grade. Hey guys, how are you? Thanks for joining. If you're new to the stream, we're basically edit and chilling, talking about life events. The Dallas, I can't remember who we're playing against. The Dallas hockey game, Stanley Cup Finals, final round. Currently, Dallas is winning. I forgot who we're playing against, and so it doesn't matter because Dallas is the only thing that matters. And I'm drinking a margarita out of a death metal mug. That's pretty much where we are. And I'm trying to get this image where I want it. Okay, so I think one of the problems I did was I deviated from my normal plan. I have like a plan, and I'm like a creature of habit here. I gotta make sure I do this all a certain way, or else I forget what I'm doing. Okay. So get those reds out. I know who the Dallas Stars are. I don't know who we're playing against. Jeez, that's what I was saying, Mark. I even said Dallas Stars. I was proud of myself. All right. Let's get some of the reds out of the midtones. Oh, yeah, let's do green. Okay, I was back where I was. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. All right, let me bring the... See, this is why I hate S-curves. Look at all that. That's basically, here's canon life right here. Sorry, Mark. I'm done. Okay. All right. That's a choice. All right, we're gonna do some more stuff. My process probably makes no sense. I always end up doing certain things, knowing I'm gonna come back to certain things, and I'm like, it eventually looks the way I want it to. It's a process. I probably double my workflow, but it is what it is. Tampa Bay, that's right. I should have known this. I used to be a Floridian. What was there was I don't remember. I was going to say there was a catchphrase for the Tampa Bay Lightning when I lived in Florida, and it was inappropriate, or at least my family's super conservative, so it was inappropriate for them. It was probably something like, get out there go get your ice kicked or something like that. And my parents were like, it says ass. Sorry, I'm gonna probably get demonetized because of that, but it is what it is. But that's my life growing up. But yeah, fun times. All right, let me get back to this. I'm really waiting to color grade this shot. This is a buddy's wedding of mine. Nope. This is a shot from one of my best friend's weddings. I feel like that's a movie title, but one of my favorite shots from the thing. I'm still editing that, and I've shown them this shot, so I was like, I feel like I'm safe to use this in the review, or not really. It's not really a review, but I'm safe to use this shot in that video because I've already shown them this shot because it's one of my favorite. One of my favorite. This is what happens when I start the streams later. It's more delirious Anson. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Skin tones. Let's qualify those dang skin tones. Does anyone else have this subconscious... So my wife gets super pissed because basically what happens is if I'm walking around the house and just absent-minded, I'll just go and be like, or I'll go through some sort of tone in my head, and it'll repeat that tone constantly. Drives her nuts. She used to make me stop. Now I'm just like, babe, I think this is just my life. I think you're gonna have to get used to it. My poor wife Drux says, hope you're having a good one tonight. Have been watching your Pocket 4K videos. Inspired me to purchase one myself and working on a rig piece by piece. And I apologize if I butcher your name, but Drox, I actually have a couple of rig videos that I really want to do. I just built my shoulder rig, so I want to do a video on that. And I updated my handheld rig to not be so lopsided for all intents and purposes. So if you want to see those, let me know. But that's awesome. I'm glad that I helped in your journey of buying the Pocket 4K. I think it's funny. My Pocket 4K 1 month review, I said like, not everyone should buy this camera. And then like now I'm just like, you guys need to learn how to color grade and work with cinema footage because you should buy this camera because it's amazing. But that's awesome. I'm glad the channel helped out. I'm really pumped and I just got done saying like experiencing like burnout and kind of like artist block as far as like creativity and things like that. Oh, Drew, wow, I'm way off. I apologize, Drew. But I'm finally to a point where YouTube says that one of my top searches is the Pocket 4K. So my goal for this year is to be like the spot for Pocket 4K content. So there will be a lot more Pocket 4K videos as far as settings, maybe some tutorials, some quick tutorials. Some of it's going to be Davinci, some of it's going to be the Pocket 4K. But that's my goal, and I'm super pumped because at one point, this is why Anson still only has like 3,000 subscribers, because like I went from GH5 content and people loved that. They were all into that. And then I was like, hold up, wait, here's Pocket 4K, and YouTube doesn't know what to do with that. And that my audience is kind of like confused because I went from GH5 to Pocket 4K really quickly. And so now YouTube's finally like, oh, he does Pocket 4K content. Here you go. So I'm pretty pumped on it. I'm trying myself. Mark says, I'm trying to talk myself out of rigging up a V-mount for the R6, by the way. Thought you'd get a kick out of that. I don't use V-mounts, but I'm not going to talk you out of getting a V-mount for the R6. Just so you know, Mark. Just so you know. Drew says... Okay, awesome. I'm 19, self-employed, videography, graphic design is my main job as of right now. Was able to finally save up the Pocket 4K. That's awesome. Your videos definitely did help me out a lot with the choice. Been watching the content for a while. Definitely helped me out a lot. Perfect, Drew. I am pumped on that. Man, I really wish I had started this journey when I was 19. So definitely freaking keep it up. It's a craft that will hopefully, if you can make it your full-time career, it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, that's not my full-time career. I wish it was at times, and sometimes I like that it's not. I like just being able to create for myself. I'm currently trying to, I don't know how much I'm going to regret even making this out in the public and out in the world, but trying to write some short films. And trying to figure out what I want to do. And I don't think I would do it if it were my job. And so I like that creativity freedom there. So speaking of which, I have no idea what type of genre of films I want to make. I'm not sure if I want to do like sci-fi-esque, horror-esque films. I like those types of films, but it also can very easily borderline between like cheesy and decent, and then eventually good at some point. I do want to get into more doing more docs. As sometimes glamourless as docs are, as far as like docs are one of those things I think I gravitate to because I like hearing stories and I like hearing accounts of things. It's my favorite type of book as well, like autobiographies or biographies. And so like docs is something that like I gravitate to, but like I know I'm not gonna, it would be a different style of documentary for me to do like more not necessarily like cinematic, but really flex those cinematography skills. I consider myself probably more of a DP than I am anything else, and so it's hard for me to let go of doing a maybe like a fictional film or things like that than doing something like a documentary. And I know that it's its own genre of documentaries to do more of like a narrative documentary or a more kind of stylistic documentary, which I'm totally into. But that, we'll figure it out. Figure it out. But that being said, all that to say, starting all this at 19 is freaking awesome. Keep it up. So sci-fi horror, do both. That's what Mark says. So sci-fi horror, do both. There's one that it's funny. I had the realization last week because people always have like, it's just going to be the most emo statement I will ever make on this channel. But, when people have struggles and hardships, it's easier to write and imagine certain things. That's why a lot of good creativity came out of like this COVID time. But I was having a hard time of like channeling that creativity until I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to either think about like stuff that I experienced when I was a kid. Like if I'm going for like horror films or like sci-fi, like stuff that I experienced when I was a kid, because my favorite movie of all time is Jaws. And I know that's kind of like, what genre? It's definitely like a horror-esque like genre. It's more suspense, but like that's hands down favorite movie of all time. But the reason why, I'm going off on a huge tangent, but the reason why is because it scared the ever-loving crap out of me when I was a kid. I would have nightmares of like a shark coming up from my floor. And I don't know, like that. I have that connection now with Jaws. But this is how Anson's brain works, but all that come around to say, I was like, okay, I need to channel some of those things that like I felt fearful wise when I was a kid. But then I was like, no, you know what I need to do? I need to I have a 3-year-old. She has, stuff that she deals with. And I'm like, I need to channel that. And it sounds weird, but it makes sense. So for example, last Saturday, she has an air vent in her room. And apparently this is a normal thing, but she has an air conditioning vent in her room. And we woke up to the fact that she took the air vent out of the floor and started putting stuff in the air vent. This is not the first time. This is like the second or third time. And we keep telling her not to do it. I think do we just not have internet right now? All right, I'm going to try to open up the stream again. All right, I'm not live. Hang on. I think we're here. I think we're back. Are we back? Are we back? Maybe we're back. Are we back? Oh no. Maybe it's possible. It's possible. I see my face moving. Oh yeah. Okay. I think we're back. If anybody is still here, I was on like a roller coaster, like a emotional moment with you all. And Spectrum was like, I'm good. I can't stress to you how much I hate my internet service. So, Drew, I was mentioning, definitely not spamming the chat. That's what we're here for. We're here to chat. That's what Edit and Chill is all about. OBS is telling me there's no connection again, so we'll see what happens here in a second. But that being said, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna attempt to hopefully make some shorts and put them up on the channel. So hopefully you'll see more of that. But yeah, honestly, I kind of don't know where my brain was before the 5-minute intermission that Spectrum decided to give us. So I think that means that the stream is done. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, hopefully there are no children in this stream or awake right now. I mean, I'm sure they're awake. Whatever, I'm done. So that being said, Drew, Mark, thank you guys for chatting. If you guys are in the stream, not chatting, thank you guys for joining. It's been awesome to hang out. Again, I'm probably going to do more of these. I think I might have more like talking points in some other ones. Not like topics, but just like, hey, these are some things that have been going on in the week, some things we're watching, some things we're talking about. Let's chat about them while we edit together and have some fun, because that's what we're here about. Drinking some margaritas and bubbly water, or just talking about cameras and watching hockey games. So go Dallas. You guys have a good night. I'm going to go hang out with my wife, drink probably another margarita, go to bed. Maybe not until like 2 o'clock in the morning. TMI. Anyways, you guys have a good night. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Stay safe. Be happy. Support each other. Wash those hands. And I'll see you here next time. This has been a mess. Good night.